Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we unpack the hidden stories in corporate filings. Today, we're diving into how Plum Acquisition Corp, the third, is setting itself up for a big move, and let's just say there is a whole lot of standby in this agreement. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, if you enjoyed these deep dives into company finances and strategies, do us a solid and hit that subscribe button. And for more real-time insights and to join our community of eager investors, come hang out with us on Discord. The link is right there in the description. This report tells us about an agreement that went down on the 7th of November of 2025, detailing some pretty important financial arrangements for Plum Acquisition Corp. The third. It is essentially about a company getting ready for a merger or acquisition, and they've locked in some funding to make it happen. Plum Acquisition Corp. The third. Often referred to as Plum the Third, is the company at the heart of this. They're based in the Cayman Islands, and this filing is all about a significant financial deal they've entered into. Their mission here seems to be focused on acquiring or merging with another entity, and they need capital to do it. The main event here is the signing of a standby equity purchase agreement, or SEPA for short, and a related registration rights agreement. Think of it like this: our company, Plum the Third, through a subsidiary called Plum the Third Merger Company, has secured a promise for a large chunk of money, up to $100 million, from an investor named Ya the Second Limited, which we'll call Yorkville. This funding isn't just sitting there, it is available if Plum the Third needs it for this business combination they're working on. This agreement isn't forever. It has an expiration date set for either 36 months from now, or as soon as Plum the Third has used up the full $100 million. This means they have a pretty good window to deploy these funds, but there is a limit to how much they can access. Now, the news about this SEPA was so important that Tactical Resources Corp, another company involved in this whole deal, put out a press release about it a few days later, on the 10th of November. This tells us that the market was meant to be informed about this significant financial step. This section is really important because it is telling investors where to look for more details about this business combination. They mention filings like a registration statement on Form F-4. This is where all the juicy details about the deal, like how it will work and what it means for shareholders, will be laid out. They're essentially saying, hey, if you want to know more, here is where you find the official, detailed information. This is a classic part of these filings where they talk about potential future events. They're basically putting out a bunch of what ifs. They're saying that while they expect certain outcomes, things could go differently. This includes risks related to the actual completion of the business combination, the ability to meet listing standards for stock exchanges, or even supply shortages that could affect Tactical Resources Corp. It's business. It is their way of managing expectations and covering themselves legally, highlighting that the future isn't guaranteed. This is the big one, the actual document outlining the standby equity purchase agreement. It is the contract that lays out the terms of how Yorkville will provide up to $100 million to Plum the Third Merger Company. This document is the backbone of the funding strategy for the upcoming business combination. This agreement is tied closely to the SEPA. It details the obligations of Plum the Third to register the shares that could be issued under the SEPA. Essentially, if Yorkville is going to be a significant investor and potentially receive stock, this agreement ensures that those shares can be legally sold in the public market. It is about making sure Yorkville has a clear path to potentially sell their investment down the line. This exhibit is the press release that Tactical Resources Corp put out to announce the SEPA. Press releases are usually designed to put a positive spin on things, so while it confirms the agreement, it is important to read it with a critical eye and compare it to the more technical details in the SEPA itself. It is essentially the company's public statement about this major financial development. This is the signature that officially documents this report. Kanishka Roy, as President and CEO, is signing off on behalf of Plum Acquisition Corp. The third, confirming that the information in this report is accurate and that the company is complying with its filing obligations. It is the final stamp of approval on this filing, so what is the big story here? Plum Acquisition Corp. Third is actively working towards a business combination, and they've secured a significant financial lifeline with this standby equity purchase agreement. The $100 million facility isn't a done deal in cash, but a promise that can be called upon. This gives them flexibility, allowing them to draw funds as needed for the merger or acquisition. The fact that they have a registration rights agreement in place means they're also thinking about how their investors, like Yorkville, can eventually trade the securities they might receive. However, it is crucial to remember the risk section. This deal, like any major corporate maneuver, is not without its uncertainties. There are regulatory hurdles, market conditions, and the inherent complexities of merging two companies. The success of this will heavily depend on their ability to execute the business combination smoothly and manage the associated risks. It's a strong indicator of their intent and preparation, but the ultimate outcome remains to be seen. Alright, that is our breakdown of this Plum Acquisition Corp. the third filing. What is your take on their funding strategy and what it signals for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments below if this analysis was valuable. Hitting that like button really helps us out. And remember to subscribe for more corporate deep dives like this. And don't forget to check out our Discord community, linked in the description for more discussions and insights. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you next time on Corporate Decoder.